Hi everyone, Jenny Giorato here. Welcome to Brain Food Book Club. Yesterday I actually posted my summary and perspective of Chapter 3, and I talked about how I was going to do a separate video about fear. So here I am. The first thing I wanted to do was just mention, Jon Acuff said the best way to get rid of your fear is to, one, document them and then to share them. So that's what this video for me is all about. Sitting out here on the patio, there's probably people that will walk by, but I'm going to be fearless with these fears. John says that lies hate the light of day, and they really can't start to dissipate until you share them with other people. And he actually says if you want to say kick rocks punk to your fears, you have to share them. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm just going to read some of them. But before I do, I just wanted to say it's funny how, our voices talk to us. And I sometimes say that I have a committee of people chattering in my brain, and they're all saying different things. And then it's like the devil and the angel on one shoulder and the devil. It's like, kind of that constant inner battle between them. And when I was at the Anthony Robbins event, Unleash the Power Within, in November, we kind of touched upon our fears and what's holding us back, and the things that we say and how we talk to ourselves, and how the story that we tell ourselves we believe. And that's kind of where I got the idea of the story you tell yourself matters with Brain Food Book Club, was because, these voices are the stories that we're telling ourselves over and over again. So Anthony Robbins had us do something that I hated at the time. He had us say out loud what the story was that we were telling ourselves and how it was holding us back. But he had us do something while we said it that made it even more ridiculous and more just insane, and how are we even saying this to ourselves? So that thing that he had us do was stick our finger up our nose while we were saying it. And I thought it was kind of, embarrassing at first, or childish, or how is this going to help me? But as I was standing there with my finger up my nose, saying the things that were holding me back, I realized that it was so ridiculous, and it actually helped me to change my life over the last 6 months. So I'm just going to read out the fears that I still have, and the voices and what they say to me. The first voice that is the most common that John talks about is the "who are you to do that" voice. And I say that a lot to myself. I also say that none of your previous life experiences apply to this dream. I also say that I'm not qualified. I don't have any skills or talents to do this. I'm not good enough to teach others about health and wellness. And I'm not good enough to teach others about making money online. No one cares about your blog or what you write about. There's too much to do, and you can't do any of it. What makes you think you're good enough to hold a big check? In one of the companies I'm involved with, they have people stand on stage with the checks that they earn for the prior 90 days. And I've dreamt about being on stage and holding my own big check. But there's a voice inside me, and it says, what makes you think you're good enough to hold a big check? And then the other ones are, you're just a waitress and that's all you're good at. And people won't like you. And you don't have a good story. And, everyone has this, it seems like, a magical story while they're on stage, or while they're, talking about how they became successful. And that's one of the things that I've said to myself over and over again, is you don't have a good enough story. With that said, in that first category, that's where I'm going to stick my finger up my nose. So here I go. My finger's up my nose. Don't worry, I'll wash my hands. And you don't have a good enough story. You don't have a good enough story. You don't have a good enough story. That was ridiculous, and that voice is ridiculous, and I'm saying kick rocks to that one. The second category is it's too late. And some of the voices that talk to me are, you didn't earn big with the previous business that you attempted, so now you can't earn big. It's too late. I don't have enough hands-on experience, so I should have worked harder earlier. You wasted too much time, and now it's too late. My ideas have been taken already. Everyone's already ahead of you. That one, for me, I say a lot. I hear a lot in my head. I have a lot of great ideas, and I don't apply them to what I'm doing. And then I find myself saying, oh, they took my idea. But they didn't take my idea. They acted first. And just because they're acting first doesn't mean that I can't follow through with what my idea was. Just because one person's doing it doesn't mean that I can't do it. So I'm again sticking my finger up my nose, and I'm saying to myself, my ideas have been taken already, everyone's already ahead of you. My ideas have been taken already, everyone's already ahead of you. My ideas have already been taken, everyone's already ahead of you. So ridiculous. The last category was, it has to be perfect. And this one I battle with a lot. I also say you have to be perfect a lot. And some of the things that I've battled with from a very early age are, you are too fat, you're not skinny enough, you'll never be skinny, when you weigh X amount of pounds, for me in my head it's 100, then you'll be happy, then you'll be pretty. And I've reached that number, and I'm about that number now, and I'm still saying that in my head, only the number's lower. So that's just ridiculous. If you have a flat stomach, then you'll be successful and happy. That's ridiculous as well. And then, if I just get everything prepared, then I'll reach my goal. And once I get more training, then I'll start. And more training is another audio, or another webinar, or another training course, or another online program. Do you know how many of those things I've purchased? Do you know how many of trainings and webinars I've been on? Do you know how many audios I've listened to? Thousands. There's not another and then I'll start, or then I'll be successful. It's just one more voice telling me a lie. And so that's where I'm going to stick my finger up my nose again and say, once I get more training, then I'll start. Once I get more training, then I'll start. Once I get more training, then I'll start. No, I have enough training, and of course I want to grow and, look into personal development and always be learning, but I don't need to wait for one more training to start. And so I hope that me sticking my finger up my nose and sharing my fears and voices has helped you with yours, and I'd love to hear about yours. You don't have to do a video like I have, but I thought maybe if you just saw me do mine, that it would inspire you to put this out to the world as well. And get in front of a mirror and stick your finger up your nose and tell those voices to kick rocks, because they're all ridiculous. There's no other word for it. And I think that you'll agree, just by hearing my voices, they're not worth giving the time of day, and we need to tell them to shut up. So that's my little perspective on fear. Clooney agrees. He's here with me, and he thinks that, those voices are ridiculous. So we'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.